your gifts are being activated. And the more you start aligning with this higher truth, with the divine mind, with God, the more your gifts are going to be activated, and the more you're entrusted to use those gifts, obviously for the greater good. You're ready to step out in your divinity now, and that is very exciting, and it's very courageous, and it's time. We need your light now. Embodying the tree of life is your key to ascending to the next level and unlocking your highest trajectory in life. And in this video, I am going to give a very basic breakdown of the tree of life and the different barriers. There's a lot to uncover with the tree of life, but I just want to start very plain and simple today. I have been meaning to speak about this for a long time, and finally it's time now. And I think many of us now have been guided to speak more on our wisdom, share more of our truth, and be bold enough to speak out and courageous, even if there's any interference or any kind of doubt. Like right now, I'm in Vietnam, and outside, I don't know if you can hear this because I've got my mic on, but there is loud music playing right out there. This is my last night in this hotel, and then I am moving to a different hotel that hopefully is a lot more quieter because I want my sleep at night. But anyway, let's get into this video. I'm very excited because if you're here now, you have been on a journey of evolution, of reclaiming, of rising, and now you are ready to step to the next level. You're ready to allow yourself to be seen in your true authenticity. And by true authenticity, I don't just mean like free to express yourself, like express your personality, like yes, all of that, but more so free to embody your raw, authentic connection with your personal self, your soul self, and your divine self. You're ready to step out in your divinity now. And that is very exciting, and it's very courageous, and it's time. We need your light now. We need everyone's light now, more so than ever. So let's get into it then, the tree of life. And firstly, if you don't know me, welcome. My name is Leanne Nelson. I am a holistic psychotherapist and a spiritual guide. My mission is to help empower you, awaken you, and encourage you on your journey as we step into this illumination of truth, reclamation, and we hold this vision of a collective paradise on earth for all of us. You know, we're reclaiming our world back. So it's my mission to kind of really help behind the scenes, and more so now up front as well. So yeah, I do have spaces where you can join me more into my sanctuary memberships and stuff like that, but I can share that at the end. But let's dive in. So the tree of life, the Kabbalah tree of life, I'm not talking about the tree of life in the Bible, which is what many people think when they hear the tree of life. They're like, oh, the Bible, the tree of life. And I know, not that one, the Kabbalah one, which comes from like, I don't want to get this wrong, but you know, like Jewish mysticism. And I feel like it's called Jewish mysticism because it's hidden until those are ready to discover it, and those who are ready to actually be able to understand it, you know. So I feel like maybe I should do a series on the Kabbalah tree of life because there are so many different aspects of it. So this may be one of many in a series actually, but for now then, when I say that you're ready to embody the fullness of who you are now, and the Kabbalah tree of life is your key to doing that, this is what I mean on its most basic level. So I'm going to start from the bottom. Usually we start from the top, but I'm going to start from the bottom of the tree of life. And at the bottom, that is the physical realm, the physical world of existence. Now, when we are able to cross the barrier of the physical realm in our understanding that life is more than just our physical senses, than what we can see, touch, taste, smell, etc., then we understand that we don't have to only just be fed by what we're taught. We don't have to only just function by, what society tells us to be. We actually understand that, we have our own thoughts and our feelings and our attitudes and our ideas about life. So this is when we cross the barrier of just the physical realm itself, and we move through being, I guess, vessels of just being able to be manipulated, because we're just going about, just more the robotic sense, maybe NPCs might be on this level, just those who are just like, not really much life force energies going through them. They're just literally here going through the motions. So when we rise and transcend beyond the first barrier, then we come to, as I said, the realm of the personality and the ego. We have our more individuation. We understand that we have our own thoughts and ideas about reality, and therefore we have a bit more agency to move around in this world and, I guess, do what we think is right to do. But the risk here is that if we stay at this level for too long, then we over identify with our thoughts and our feelings, and our ego can run the show. And I think we all know what that's like when we are trapped in that realm of existence, because we have the rumination, or it can turn into arrogance, even a hardened heart. We think we know it all. We think that we don't have to seek. And even if we do seek, we're only seeking based on stuff that still kind of feeds what we know. We're not literally thinking outside of the box, basically. We're still only playing it safe. So yeah, we can become hardened and think that that's all there is to life. So this is the highest level we can reach without actual soul transcendence, in life. This, if we just stay capped at this level and then we go through life and then we pass away, then more than likely, depending on our deeds and I guess how heavy our heart is, then either we are going to be trapped and we won't be able to rise higher. So we're going to have to repeat life, do it over again until you can actually start transcending. Or we're going to be, trapped in the spiritual dimension. We can't rise. We can't even reincarnate again. This is what many people describe as like hell. It's like the lowest level of the astral plane, because we're too heavy to rise any higher, or too chaotic to incarnate again. Yeah. So in order to rise out of this level, we have to understand that we are beyond just our thoughts and our feelings and our ego. We have to transcend the ego. This is not destroy it. It's more like transmute it by looking at it, observing it, understanding that we are beyond it as well. And if we start taking accountability for our situation, rather than, blaming everyone else and everyone else is a problem, which is what the ego does, right? It wants to keep us safe and, keep our character in check at all costs, self-preservation at all costs, but when we transcend that and we come into the soul, this is where we take accountability and we can start working on actually healing our karma. We can actually start rewriting our conditioning, our programming. This is the shadow work. We can do our shadow healing. We can look at the mirror, and it's a lot of work to do for those who are doing it. And if you're watching this video, you've been doing this, you've done your shadow work, you've been doing your healing. So at this level, we're able to have more liberation, because we understand, we're not just a physical realm. So we can unplug from, I guess, all of the different matrices. Is that even a word? But I like to use that word because I refer to matrix as not just one. Like there's like either the hustle matrix, or there's the working matrix, the survival matrix, the family matrix, all of these things that I guess maybe we are just born into that we don't question. I call them a matrix because they can keep us trapped in that physical world of illusion. Like it is just an illusion, you know. It's just a world that we come into to experience, to learn, to grow and evolve through. So when we are at the soul level now, this is a good place to be in, because this is where we do our healing. But then again, we still need to transcend even this level, because if we just stay at this level, we can stay repeating our karmic cycles over and over again, continuously reincarnating, more healing to do, more work to do. The way how we transcend that has been shown by obviously the ascended masters. For example, like Jesus Christ has come and showed us that when we align ourselves back with the ultimate consciousness, back with oneness, back with unity, back with source, creator, God, then that is how we are able to operate in our Christ light, in our highest level of consciousness, where we can actually command and control the whole reality, life itself, and fulfill our higher mission and create at will, because we are not just seeing ourselves as separate, as just, we're a soul separate from God. We understand that we are one with God. And when we look at Buddhism and the whole Buddha mind, we understand how to get there. We get there by saying get there, I mean by transcending our suffering and our karmic cycles. We have to again align our mind with the mind of God. So, Buddhism speaks about right mind, right view, right action, all of these things where you start to align up. So instead of, I guess, continuously doing a heavy labor of, I need to do this, that of revisiting the patterns, it gets to a point where if you can incorporate as part of your daily life and your practice more ways to help you connect with this higher energy, it starts to break the illusion altogether, and you start to kind of have the light of truth is more able to reach you. And by the light of truth, so it doesn't sound abstract, I really want to break this down and make it very super clear. So the same way that obviously the sun, which is our life force on this planet, we need the sun in order to survive. It's our energy source. We get our energy from the sun, and directly from the sun we can be charged from it, or from the food that the sun charges. We can take that and then we eat that, and then we get the life force energy. Everything is energy, right? So when we look at that same structure of the sun shining down on us, and we look at that in terms of the highest structures, in terms of cosmic structure, divine structure, there is the supreme source of creation emanating out light, pure light. And what is light? Light is information. Because if you are in a darkened room and you're looking around and you're like trying to figure out what is this, what is that, you can infer, you can assume, you can guess what something is and what it looks like, but you won't be able to fully know until you switch the light on. And then the light comes on, and then the truth is revealed. You get the information of what it really is, right? So when we shine the light of truth, or when we allow ourselves to receive the light, more cosmic energy, directly by, either consciously meditating or just consciously being aware that we can be open to receive that light, to receive the information continuously streaming down on us. Because when we're not trying to connect with anything higher and trying to be an open vessel to receive, to pay attention to our intuition, to open our psychic senses and our knowing, when we're not doing that, that's when we're just privy to just our own actual thoughts and mind. We're in our own internal head. We can't transcend that. As I said, you're in the ego. But when you can transcend the ego and allow yourself to receive the higher wisdom coming through, and allow your body to receive the higher wisdom, that's when you start becoming lighter, clearer, and able to channel, become a vessel of this higher energy. And when we do that, that is how our soul, our mind, our body, our intellect is able to transcend all of the different layers so that we can come into full wholeness, because we've come down here, incarnated here, not to stay stuck on the lower realms, but to rise into our true fullness and to shine as an extension of source. So now that leads us to you and where you are now. So you're probably somewhere between the stage of understanding your soul's lessons, your karmic lessons, and you're at the level where you've activated your higher mission now. You're ready to step into your higher mission. And there might have been things, that you've had to deal with and contend with, but you're ready. You're ready. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this message. So the next part now is for you to do whatever you need to do to merge with your highest light, to be a vessel. Many people now are understanding that, I can actually channel this higher light wisdom. I can actually share this higher truth now. This is you operating in oneness and unity with the Creator. This is why many more people are doing that now, channeling words. Even light language is coming through for many people at this time. Your gifts are being activated. And the more you start aligning with this higher truth, with the divine mind, with God, the more your gifts are going to be activated. And the more you're entrusted to use those gifts, obviously for the greater good, and really stepping into and embodying your soul purpose. So I want to leave it there because I don't want this video to get too long. But yeah, those are basically all the different barriers to transcendence in the Kabbalah tree of life. There is so much more when it comes to the tree of life. So I'm looking forward to getting into this with you. But I'd love to know your thoughts. Does this resonate? Do you understand? Is anything, that not making sense? Or, is it hitting with you? Let me know where you are on your journey as well. I would love to know. And as I said, if you do want to come closer, I do regular masterclasses in my Sanctuary membership for those who really, really want to get deep into this knowledge. And I also have embodiment and integration sessions so we can come together as a group to see how we're actually embodying this. I love those sessions very much so. And just general resources, meditations, guides, and all the good stuff just to help you stay anchored and aligned with your true mission now. So you feel supported and you know that you're not alone, okay? And if you want to work more on a one-to-one basis with me, there's 3 pathways. Either therapy, if you're in the stage where you're still deconditioning and working through your karma and your lessons and your patterns, then therapy is for you. If you just want to have like a blueprint and a map of like your soul's mission, I will help you break that down by looking at your astrology, your human design, your numerology, all of that stuff, and my intuition as well. And if you are ready to fully recalibrate into your sovereign highest self, then my highest level container will be good for you. That is my private recalibrations. I love those sessions. That is when I am literally by your side, by your side, like metaphorically, as in, voice notes throughout the day, messages and proper like 90-minute sessions either every week or every month, depending on how deeply you want to get into it, and using your wealth legacy blueprint. So we look at your blueprint with all of the soul mapping tools that I use, but we look at it in terms of your highest legacy, and then we literally recalibrate everything, your relationships, your embodiment, making sure that your work, your sacred service is aligned, your energy, how you operate, how you make decisions, like everything is aligned with your highest blueprint. I love those sessions. So yeah, there's all sorts of ways to get involved with me, and I've got so much stuff coming up in future as well, but I will share them in future. But for now, I honor you. You are doing so well. You are so amazing. You're courageous. I see and honor the divinity in you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here. All the best.